From the very first glance, the village of Rustam Nagar Sahaspur seemed like any other peaceful hamlet near Bellary in Muradabad district, Uttar Pradesh. But on the morning of August 24th, 2025, something was about to shatter that calm forever. Samreen, the youngest daughter of Riyazat Hussain, a hard-working man who ran a mobile coffee machine business at weddings, left her home as usual at 10 a.m., heading to her nursing job at Inaya Healthcare Clinic in Safani, Rampur. Her family had no reason to worry. She was responsible, careful, and always in touch. But as the hours passed and Samreen did not return, the sense of unease grew. Riyazat tried calling her clinic only to discover that she hadn't even arrived that day. Panic gripped the family. The absence of any trace or message made their hearts sink. Calls were made to friends, neighbors, and relatives, but no one had seen her. Anxiety turned into terror as Riyazat realized that this was not a simple delay. It was something far more sinister. Her elder brothers, Suhail and Rizwan, who worked in Delhi, were called immediately. They rushed home that very night, sensing that something terrible had occurred. The family pooled all resources, contacting everyone who might have seen Samreen, searching for clues in the empty streets, alleys, and shops. But their efforts seemed futile. The village, known for its close-knit community, now held a heavy silence, as if it too feared the unknown. By the next morning, the family, after consultations with close relatives, took the agonizing step of reporting Samreen missing to Bellary police. Officers quickly began the investigation, extracting her mobile call details. It revealed a shocking lead. Samreen had been in frequent contact with a man named Gaus Alam, a 25-year-old truck driver living in a nearby village. He had been elusive, traveling long distances for work, but his connection to Samreen became the focal point of the police inquiry. The investigation quickly intensified. Gaus Alam was known in his village as Ashik Alam, a nickname given due to his charm and easy manner with young women. His seemingly innocent social media presence hid a darker obsession. He spent most evenings online, messaging multiple girls, crafting poems, and always ending with heart emojis. His life was an illusion of simplicity, but it concealed a manipulative mind, capable of turning affection into control and deceit. Samreen, on the other hand, was dedicated to her nursing job, often exhausted after long shifts but deeply compassionate towards her patients. Despite her fatigue, she carried herself with poise and warmth. Her interactions on Instagram were lighthearted at first, sharing photos of books, moments from her shifts, and glimpses of her day-to-day life. Little did she know that one of her posts, a picture of her holding a child with a gentle smile, would draw the attention of a man whose intentions were anything but pure. It all began with a simple message, a hi, from Gaus Alam. Samreen, cautious yet polite, responded in kind. What started as casual conversation quickly became a routine exchange of words, jokes, and small confidences. The emptiness they both felt in their lives found temporary comfort in each other's messages. Gaus's words were crafted to charm and manipulate, and Samreen, seeking companionship, did not initially sense danger. Days turned into weeks. The virtual connection grew intense, crossing boundaries of safety. Gaus Alam's persistence blurred the lines between affection and control. He promised love, devotion, and eventually marriage. Samreen, hopeful and inexperienced in such matters, began to trust him, sharing parts of her life, her vulnerabilities, and even her dreams. But every word she spoke unwittingly gave him insight into her life and movements, a map that would later be used to trap her. Unbeknownst to Samreen, Gaus Alam's fascination was not reciprocal love. It was obsession. What had begun as flirtation soon spiraled into coercion. He insisted on meeting, sometimes pushing the boundaries of consent. Samreen resisted, fearing moral and cultural norms, but Ghaus Alam's persistence intensified. The playful conversations that once brought smiles now carried a subtle menace. On the morning of August 24th, Samreen's trust in him, combined with a promise of marriage, led her to accept a meeting at Maharana Pratap Chowk in Bellary. She arrived in an e-rickshaw, unaware that the charming young man she believed in had already set the stage for something horrifying. Ghaus Alam was waiting, along with an accomplice, to turn her trust into a trap. This was the day that the life of a young nurse would vanish from the eyes of her family, leaving an entire village in shock and fear. Ghaus Alam's carefully crafted charm had worked. Samreen, unaware of the danger, climbed onto his bike, believing she was going to a place where promises would be fulfilled. The roads were quiet, the morning sun casting shadows that would soon mirror the darkness of the act about to unfold. The accomplice, a minor, sat quietly behind, blending into the pretense of family or friendship. The trap was meticulously set. During the journey, Ghaus Alam reassured Samreen of their future. Marriage was near, love was certain, and he promised respect and protection. Samreen, trusting and hopeful, felt safe, unaware that the distance traveled was not toward a home, but toward the shadow of death. Her family's calls and anxious messages did nothing to reach her. The digital connection had become useless in the face of Ghaus Alam's deception. When they arrived near Chikfazalpur, between the villages of Chikfazalpur and Rupur, the true intent became horrifyingly clear. In an instant, Ghaus Alam forced her off the bike. The minor held her, while Ghaus executed the plan that had been brewing in secret. The screams that pierced the early morning air went unheard. There was no one nearby to witness the betrayal of trust. The act was brutal, cold, and calculated. After ensuring no witnesses, they left Samreen's lifeless body in a sugarcane field. Her last moments, filled with confusion, fear, and betrayal, were unknown to the world. A day that had started with mundane routines and innocent messages had ended in horror, leaving a family devastated and a village shaken to its core. Her disappearance had initially triggered a desperate search, but the gruesome truth could only emerge through Ghaus Alam's eventual capture. After relentless police tracking and investigation, he was finally apprehended on August 30th, 2025. Initially, he denied any involvement, sticking to his story about long-distance truck routes and ignorance. But the evidence, phone records, witness statements, and digital trails cornered him into confession. The discovery of Samreen's body on the night of August 30th to 31st confirmed the worst fears. Forensics collected vital evidence from the crime scene, traces of the accomplice's presence, soil samples, and digital footprints that would later ensure justice. The village gathered near the site, a mixture of grief, shock, and anger palpable in the air. Families who had known Samreen's family for generations stood in disbelief, confronting the dark reality of manipulation and violence hidden behind seemingly innocent social interactions. Investigators uncovered the dual life of Ghaus Alam, his charming social media persona versus the predator lurking beneath. He had mastered the art of deception, creating a facade of love while his intentions were sinister. Instagram, which Samreen had used to fill the emptiness in her life, became the medium through which danger silently crept closer. The investigation highlighted the risks of digital intimacy, especially when trust is manipulated for exploitation. Family testimonies revealed that Samreen had previously suffered trauma, with burn scars covering parts of her body. This history made her both cautious and yet hopeful for genuine love. She had been open-hearted despite past pain, seeking connection, unaware that her vulnerability was precisely what Ghaus Alam exploited. Her trust, once a source of warmth and hope, became a weapon in the hands of someone who understood how to manipulate emotions. The investigation also exposed Ghaus Alam's mindset. Obsession, entitlement, and manipulation intertwined. He believed his desires justified any action, showing no regard for the life he ultimately destroyed. While he painted himself as a lover online, the reality was predation and control. The stark contrast between perception and truth shocked the community, forcing people to reconsider how digital relationships can mask dangerous intentions. Samreen's story tragically became a cautionary tale. It reflected a cruel reality where charm and deceit can cloak malevolence, where a simple online connection can spiral into real-world violence. Her family, while devastated, cooperated with police, ensuring that the truth emerged and justice could be pursued. Her death demanded awareness, vigilance, and reflection from everyone in the community, questioning how safety, trust, and love intersect in the modern digital age. Once Gaus Alam and his accomplice were in custody, the process of unraveling the full extent of their crime began. The court proceedings revealed the cold precision with which Samreen was lured, manipulated, and ultimately murdered. Testimonies highlighted how premeditation and social engineering had combined to trap an innocent young woman who had merely sought connection and love. The digital traces she left behind became crucial evidence, exposing the danger behind seemingly ordinary online interactions. Forensic experts meticulously documented the crime scene and recovered items critical for trial. Samreen's broken phone, messages exchanged with Gaus Alam, and GPS data confirmed the timeline of events. The village of Rustam Nagar, which had watched the story unfold in disbelief, now understood the horrifying depth of planning and deception involved. Police praised the family's swift action in reporting her missing, emphasizing how quick responses can sometimes save lives, or at the very least, lead to justice. Psychologists and social workers involved in the case explained the behavior of perpetrators like Gaus Alam. They highlighted patterns: isolation, obsession, manipulation, and the use of social media as a hunting ground. The case served as an important lesson on how predators exploit emotional vulnerabilities, often targeting those who display empathy and kindness. Communities began discussions about monitoring online interactions and the critical need for digital literacy for young adults. The court sentenced Gaus Alam to imprisonment, while the minor accomplice was sent to a juvenile correction facility, reflecting their respective roles in the crime. Samreen's family, while heartbroken, expressed relief that justice was being served. Their pain and loss were profound, but the legal outcome provided a measure of accountability. It also sent a strong message: manipulation, betrayal, and murder cannot escape the law regardless of charm or digital cleverness. Awareness campaigns emerged from this tragedy. Parents, schools, and young adults were warned about the dangers of blind trust online. The story of Samreen became a case study in balancing empathy with caution, in understanding that online affection, however sweet, can hide dark intentions. Communities learned to recognize signs of grooming, obsession, and emotional manipulation before they escalated. Yet beyond awareness, the emotional scars remained. Samreen's family struggled with grief, but they also found strength in sharing her story. Her dedication to helping others as a nurse, her kindness, and her courage even in difficult times were celebrated. Villagers reflected on the need to protect and empower young women while also fostering safe avenues for love, friendship, and companionship. The narrative of Gaus Alam and Samreen became more than just a crime story. It became a lesson in human psychology, trust, and vigilance. It challenged assumptions about appearances. A charming face, a polite demeanor, or sweet words cannot guarantee safety. It reminded society that empathy must always be balanced with caution, and that even ordinary interactions can conceal extraordinary danger. In the aftermath, authorities continued their work to prevent similar tragedies. Social media platforms were urged to monitor interactions and provide tools for reporting suspicious behavior. Families and educators were encouraged to talk openly about online relationships, consent, and recognizing red flags. Samreen's story, though tragic, became a catalyst for change in digital safety awareness. Ultimately, the question remains, how do we distinguish genuine love from manipulative deception in an age where technology blurs boundaries? Samreen's life and death remind us that vigilance, awareness, and education are our strongest defenses. While justice was served, her story prompts a deeper reflection. In a world where online interactions are intimate and pervasive, can anyone truly be certain of the intentions behind every message?